Welcome to this week's Yes with Tamika. So, we go on talking about sacrificing versus giving up. What's the difference? So, Tamika, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I've been stealing everyone's introductions. This week has been Wendy Williams. How you doing?
Who else has we said everyone? Who else?
I stole yours. And in fact, I stole yours with Julie Chen Moonbez.
What first?
How's your week been?
So, wait till Wednesday. Came back to work.
And then?
I came back to work.
So I want to talk to you about giving up versus sacrificing. I have a different between the two, something that really, in my mind, puts a differentiation between the two. What's your version of the sacrificing versus giving
You
up?
already said you have one, so just go ahead and put it out there.
Okay, so when you're sacrificing something, it comes with a negative balance. I'm doing X to get Y. Right? So, like, let's say you're in a relationship and that person likes to be a vegan, but you're a meat eater. But when you're going out together, so you go to vegan places. You do that because in turn, maybe they go to so that's what away from it. There's no negative balance. There's no I did all this and you've done nothing for me. Do you agree with that? Can you agree with that? No, I'm saying can you as in like, is that fair to say, in your opinion?
Well, opinions are always fair to say. Or that something sacrificing versus
Sacrificing insanity.
well, I think sacrificing, you have made the decision to not do something because you have made a decision to not do something that you may have wanted to do,
right,
in order to make things better for either yourself or another person. Typically it's for another person.
So it carries a negative balance.
No, I think giving up does. I don't think sacrificing. Because sacrificing to me is like, I sacrifice my education so I could put food on the table. It's not negative.
Yeah, but if you give, meaning that negative meaning your sacrifice, so you gave up one thing and that's it, you just gave it up. A sacrifice, I did this in turn to get that.
Right.
A negative balance. So I think sacrifice comes with a negative balance. I think when you just give something up, you just walk away from it. It's not an in turn to get something back.
Right. Sure.
So you agree with me?
Suppose.
Have you ever sacrificed something in your life or given something up in your life?
No. I've given up a lot. I don't feel like I've made any real sacrifices in life. I think that I've made decisions. I think I've made decisions that became easier. I made decisions in my life to give up something that masked itself as a sacrifice.
Oh, a sacrifice to whom? Yourself or
Whether
someone else?
myself, other people, whatever the case may be.
Oh.
You know, you can easily justify something, giving up something, and saying, I had to sacrifice. Like, no, you didn't want to do it.
You just
did it. Okay. Yeah, you have to sacrifice to get $8. Let's be real, you know what I mean? Is it a real sacrifice or is it really give up? You're asking me to give up as a sacrifice.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think so if you're looking at things in more of like a negative -1, -2, negative as in sad way, I think sacrificing makes something heavy on your heart and your spirit. When giving something up is more away from sensitivity to that, where you carry no negative balance, you're heavy in your heart. You just walk away.
You mean
I did this for you. So it carries such a negative emotion that there's
I don't think of it that way. We're putting bad connotations, but it's like the real version of sacrifice is like being selfless, and making the other person realize how much of a selfless decision you made.
I think when you sacrifice, there's a selfishness to it.
That's what I mean. You're putting
A selfish to the word.
Yeah, and I don't think it's always that way. I don't think that's fair, because there are people that you think about countless others who made the decision
to give up.
Right.
Giving up.
They've sacrificed to make a better life for their children.
See, and that's why they gave it up. They didn't sacrifice.
Because it's one of those things like, I'm gonna have to forego, going out to dinner with my friends so that my kids can have a full meal all week.
But see, that's where the conversation needs to be gave up. I gave up. I think where the wording is getting tripped up. Countless mothers gave things up.
When you give something up, you don't do it for something else. You just give it up.
Right, you just give it up. A sacrifice,
you give it up
in order to...
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It carries a negative balance.
Wow.
Sacrificing?
Yeah.
It carries a negative balance, meaning like, look at the emotion that ties with that. I go out to my friend.
I don't see that time when you say, well, how come you're not writing that book anymore? I gave up. That's a negative. I gave up. Why? Just because I didn't want to. Sacrificing to me is like, wow, you did that so that somebody else could be better. I gave up my whatever so that they can eat. Like, it's like the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's what it all comes from. That's where it stems from when you think about what sacrifice starts and leads. People fall so that you can walk. People cry so you can laugh. You don't have to be like, I did this. That's something totally different. When you start pointing a finger at and saying somebody did something for another something else.
But then what's the term for that then? When you're carrying a negative balance with, like, let's say just like between two people or multiple people, between people. What could we say to that? And that's, I feel like it's that word sacrifice. Because like, let's say think about like I was watching because I love that time. The guy who gave up drinking, but then the marriage wasn't safe, and they carried that negative balance with them. Right. I gave up that for you, and look what you did anyway.
I don't look at sacrifice as a negative thing. Mm-hmm. I think it as making decisions to better others. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like putting your ego aside and your need aside for
giving up your ego and your need.
Yeah, giving up your ego and your needs so that someone else can get something that they actually need.
Right.
You know what I mean? Think about the people you wish somebody would have sacrificed something so that you could have had whatever.
I see. I don't know. I wish people would have given up things for better environments, but sacrificing, that's the thing. I guess because I still feel like that word carries such a negative balance to it.
Right.
There's got to be another term that's interchangeable with that doesn't carry a negative balance. There's got to be something.
Oh. I'm not gonna cry.
You gave up crying.
I didn't give it up.
The podcast.
I sacrificed my pain so that you could laugh.
It's very biblical. Thank you. I think about, I don't know, I guess because it's one of those things where, but then I guess there has to be another change. Maybe having a positive. Because I just feel like so many people in life make sacrifices, but they want to be rewarded for those sacrifices. And that's where you carry the negative balance.
See, that's a totally different thing then. That's looking beyond the sacrifice. That's the actual reaction to the sacrifice.
Okay.
Just like the actual giving up is different than how people react to how you gave up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think about something in your life that you've given up, and you're just like, you know what?
It ain't worth it. I'm just not right now.
No,
yeah.
Not even not right now. No, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not because anything other than I'm not feeling it. It's not because you're trying to make it better for somebody else. It's just like, I ain't in it.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. But it's gone both ways too.
What do you mean?
There's like, I'm not in it, and there's like, well, I'm gonna have to forego, like it's time to go into the park. I gotta care for it.
But that's a sacrifice.
That's giving
because you
up.
still like it.
I gave up.
But you gave up. But you gave up for a reason. Not because.
Oh, so you're talking about give up just to give up? Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. I'm not in it anymore. Yeah. I'm not in it anymore.
Do you want to be dropping it like it's hot?
No.
Or did you stop dropping it like it's hot because you got kids now? You know, if you had kids or not, you was not dropping it like it's hot.
It ain't hot, and it ain't dropping. It's cold.
Maybe if you was in the mirror in your room. I know these bones ain't meant to drop it no more. Even though my nickname is Drop 316. That's what I am. But I'm just saying, I didn't make no sacrifice when I decided to stop dropping and stop going to the club. Like what I said, I'm not in it.
I'm not in it.
Don't stop. See, this is your problem. You like to put your kids as a reason for everything. Your kids have nothing to do with you stop going to the club. You stopped going to the club before they was even born.
Last time we went to the club was right before I had an egg extraction.
Before they were born.
Yeah, right before they were born.
But my point is before they were born. It's not because they're here. You have to be like, okay, I'm about to have an egg extraction. I gotta go to the club. You went to the club that last time. We were there. We're talking about your experiences.
We were both looking at each other like, I'm
over this.
Yeah.
I'm done.
We're out.
I might have went to like a little bar or something after.
But that was it.
But that was the last time I've been to a club when my ears were banging and bleeding.
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm not. I ain't in it.
Yeah. So it ain't got nothing to do with an egg extraction or twins. Or
no, but then let me think of something else then.
I mean, sure, but that's what you brought up.
Okay. We're both sitting with our feet straight.
Sorry for the background noise. We're outside at the beach.
Yeah, but we're both sitting like with our feet straight out, and I think our what do you call this part? Hips are at the same.
Bone?
Yeah, but like at the same length. So we're both like leaning up against something.
Right.
And my legs are significantly shorter than yours. Significantly.
I have a long torso.
Too, but yeah,
they're not significantly shorter.
From this angle, they are.
From the angle, when you're looking down at anything, you ever stand up and look down and like, damn, I'm tall.
Yeah. No. That issue.
I think I'm got long legs.
Sometimes I'm like in the mirror. Sometimes when I like take my glasses on and off, I'm like, this ground is a lot closer than it is with the glasses. Wait, hold on. Yeah,
Anyhow, can we get back to the show?
Yeah, but it's just.
So anyway, sacrifice, giving up. So I want to know. What have you given up
that are absolutely traveling?
You didn't put it though.
I put it to the side.
Traveling to me for you is sacrifice.
Yeah. But it carries a negative balance.
How does it carry a negative balance?
Because I feel like these mofos own me. I feel like my time.
You keep negative. You're personally putting a negative connotation on it. But it's not necessarily, that's not what the word is. It's your reaction to the action. It's not the actual sacrifice.
So when someone says to you, I sacrificed X, Y, and Z for you, or, let me say this.
I'm like,
I sacrificed X, Y, and Z for you. How do you feel about that? How do you receive that phrase, that comment?
Well, I don't appreciate it. But I'm everything you hope to be.
You're so good. Well, good.
How did that turn out? Am I good?
Well, I hope I'm everything you meant. Oh my God.
How did that sacrifice work? I look at my dad like, how did it work out for you? You sacrificed not being in my life. I see with that, I don't even know if he sacrificed. You gave up, Mo. You didn't sacrifice anything.
He just gave up. That's a tough one.
Now you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see the difference between my mother sacrificed.
Your mom, yeah.
She sacrificed college, and she worked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that she could take care of her disabled child.
Yeah.
My father gave up.
Damn.
So if my mother says, I sacrificed college, and all I have to say is, well, I have a degree now. When I got a degree, you got a degree.
And I took you to that damn next game.
And then my mother's like, shut up. But I try to put, usually, if you sacrifice for the right people,
right,
it'll come back to you tenfold down the road.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to remember, damn, mommy gave up, whatever. But have you really given up anything for them of meaning?
Traveling means a lot to me.
But I wouldn't say you gave up. I shouldn't say gave. Have you sacrificed anything?
Traveling.
Do you think it's something that you will get back again?
I hope. I pray to that. Yeah.
You traveled. Didn't you go to Sesame Place last year?
Great Wolf Lodge. Get it right.
I thought you went to Sesame Place too.
The year before that.
Okay, so you go. You out. Didn't you go visit your brother or something like that?
No, he was in Virginia at the time.
See?
You better
You go places. You stay booked and busy. You good?
Did you see?
Ain't you going to Swiss Rats this weekend?
Oh my God.
You go places.
I go places.
You out. No, but I know what you mean. You used to be a traveler.
Yeah.
I got it.
That has weighed very heavy on my heart.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna punch you right in the shins. It's just that's one of the things that has weighed very heavy on my heart. It's the traveling.
Well,
not much else.
Maybe those will return to time. On the road. All you gotta do is remind them without saying I sacrificed. Be like, man, I sure would like to go to Paris again.
Man, I sure would.
Something like that, Don't make them feel bad. Like, wow, sure would be great to go to Spain. But you sure have to get older. Yeah. So right now
they got a job.
Yeah, when they can afford it.
Once I see that first W-2, these mofos have no idea what kind of.
You'll be like, I want my
Hispanic Catholic guilt I'm gonna be putting on them.
I want my 4 acres and a mule. But anyway, so I think the thing though with sacrificing is I don't think it's right to make other people feel guilty about it.
Why is it when you want? You mentioned 40 acres and a mule. Now I'm going to go off on a tangent.
No, I'm sorry I mentioned it.
No. But why is it reparations have been paid for so many other ethnicities and there's not an issue for that? But when you ask for your 40 acres and a mule, it's like, how effing dare you? When you're not the one who brought it up. That's what you were promised. Why is that such an issue?
You know why? Because we've been giving Barack Obama.
We've taken from other countries and created another country as an appeasement to the Holocaust. We've given Native Americans things that really are not appropriate to the culture, but we've given them land and taken away from them at the same time. So we've given reparations to so many, but when you ask for your 40 acres and a mule, why is it such an issue, and how dare you? And what are you going to do with it?
Because
I just don't understand that.
There's never going to be a reason. The only person that you can ask that to, the problem is we always ask that question to people that think the same way we think. It's about asking people who don't.
Okay.
And finding out those answers.
Okay. I got some homework then, because
I'm sure you know people who
I just don't understand why it's an issue. We've made reparations. We've created countries. We've created countries with reparations.
You ask somebody in your life the exact same question that you know has a different ideology about you, ideology than you.
Genuinely listen.
It's like, yeah, and then you can explain it, but understand that that person or persons will never feel the same way that you feel.
Right.
But at least you'll get a better understanding.
That is going to be a challenge.
And let me know. We'll talk about it on the next show.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah. That is definitely going to be a challenge for me, because I'm just so, it's just one of those things that's very unclear to me. That's one of those sacrifices, giving up, and questions that I just really don't understand.
It is what it is.
But it's not, though.
Well, I can only speak for me as a black woman. I can't speak for all black people. I can't speak for all minorities and so on and so forth. But it's like one of those things where it's like, about sacrifice and giving up. I give up. Like, I don't really care anymore. Yeah. There's so many other things to be focused on. Y'all don't give a shit about us. Not y'all, but
I know
certain
what you mean.
people, certain factions of this country don't give a shit about me. And I have no desire to understand why.
I just have such an issue with why is it okay for one and not okay for the other? Why is it okay for there to be I just don't understand why it's okay for us to like even with the whole, like, think about it. We put Saddam Hussein in power, but then we were the big hands in having him hung. There's just so many things that I don't understand.
Right.
But I guess these would be age questions. But that is going to be a challenge. Those are questions that I'm just curious to see what the other side thinks.
Right. It's weird, but I it is what it is. Like, at this point, I don't even care. But I care.
Can I take that to transition to the that's trending?
All right. That's fine. Yeah.
It's a question. I don't know if we're going to have an explanation, but it's a question.
I got all the answers.
My question is...
Right into it. Yep.
That's trending. My question is it racist to tell someone, go back home?
Okay. It's a two-people job.
Yes. And I'm going to share a story. I'm going to have to tell you who this person is until we're offline. I want to protect you and the person, But I was having a conversation with this person years ago. And it was about race relations and stuff like that. And started talking about Africa. And the person said to me, well, then go back then. And I was just like, I was shocked. I didn't even know what to say, because it's not the first time that somebody has said that to me. It was the first time that somebody that was in my life said that to me. And I was just like...
this is a full confession. I think I've said that. I think probably like 20-something years ago.
You said that to me.
It was to you, right?
Yeah,
it was to you.
It was to me.
So I've said that.
That's why I didn't want to...
But it also came with ignorance, because it was more of like, I don't remember what we were talking about, because there was a reflection after our conversation, like, because
we didn't discuss it, but after you said it, I was just like, I was flabbergasted. Like, did she really just... Like,
because it was one of the...
let that go right there.
My only recollection of the conversation, because it was like freaking 20 years ago.
Yeah,
20 years ago.
It was 20 years ago. It was definitely when we first became friends.
It was more, I think we were talking about, I don't know.
I want to really quick, applaud you. Because I wasn't gonna say that it was you.
Thank you.
For standing up, like we all say things. I've said things that is just real fucked up.
But it came with ignorance.
For you to acknowledge that it was you.
Oh yeah, but it came with ignorance because I don't remember the exact conversation we were having, but I remember, I only remember a feeling of what I said because it came with ignorance. It was, I think we were talking about, what were we talking about? Do you remember? I think it was politics or something.
It was definitely political. It was talking about, it was something with Africa. It was something, because that was the whole thing. Well, then just go back then. And I was like, I looked at you like, I'm not even from there. What are you like? I didn't say that. I was so hurt and in shock, but we just ended the conversation there. I was like, okay.
So maybe that's why I don't quite remember the conversation, because
it ended there. That was like the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to engage, or
I just remember something about politics, and it was like, because I think I remember, maybe I was talking to you about school or something like that, or maybe
it could have been.
Maybe, and I remember something.
I don't know. Matter.
But I don't know. But I remember growing from that conversation, and like there was a lot of self-reflection, because I remember later on in life. I remember I was sitting I was in college during 9/11. I was in college, and I remember it was the day after, and I recall all these people in my class talking about, and this is the greatest country, and this is why this happens to us. And I remember looking, and I was like, this is not the greatest country. And this is exactly why it happens to us, because of this self-centered thinking.
Ignorance.
And I remember them all looking at me like, wow, okay. And I'm like, and for you exactly to say that, like, you have to look beyond just your little, and really think about, well, yes, this country does have a lot of opportunity. I just won the lottery by having U.S. citizenship and just being born here. So it's a lot to spread that. But at the same time, it's one of those things where, like, you can always do better. But you can always want to do better. And that's when you grow from that. And I think, I really wish I could remember a conversation as to why that ignorant statement came out. And I apologize, genuinely apologize, because that's not something that
we never discussed it ever again. I never brought it up again. I might have made a joke about it, with you not even realizing what I was joking about. I do that. You do that. Yeah. And because I'm passive aggressive in that way.
Not you.
However, it's a moment that has sat with me at our entire friendship. It made me. It's hurtful. I don't want you. It came up again during this whole past week with political climate. Mm-hmm. I know we're not talking about Trump, but with the Trump statement.
Right.
And the people that have supported him,
right,
and who has not supported him.
Right. Well, see, then, fully from my heart, I do apologize for that statement, because I don't want you to think and sit with that. Right. Because that's not something that I would say. No, and I don't even know if I've ever thought that before it came out of my mouth, and I'm not even sure if I even thought of it after. I think it was just an ignorant statement in the heat of the moment, but I'm not sure, because I can't quite remember, and I'm not giving excuses.
But the funny thing to me is, like, whenever I think of statements like that, it's like a lot of people that say things like that, mm-hmm, like my people go back. Mm-hmm. You know in this country.
Yeah.
So where am I going?
Yeah.
Your DNA is fully entrenched.
Right.
For decades.
Could you imagine
centuries?
Where would they send me back?
Where am I going? Connecticut? Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah. Southampton? I mean,
Southampton.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So those kind of, so now we have this climate now where the president had to rally, whatever. People were talking about Congressman Omar and started chanting, send her back.
But send her back where? She's a U.S. citizen. This is her home country now. This is her country.
It's disgusting.
And it's okay to have conversations to grow, but now when you hold a person's, I'm trying to find the right wording. When you hold a person down because they want the country that they're serving to grow,
right?
That there's an issue there.
Very true.
whether it's race related or not. In this case, it unfortunately.
But I think it's all based out of fear, and I think this whole thing is actually a distraction
Oh, absolutely.
from the whole. What's his guy? The rapist.
Oh yeah. I don't even want to say his name.
I don't need to remember his name. They know who we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's all just like a distraction.
Yeah,
it is
a distraction. Yeah, just as usual.
But the thing that bothers me, and we were talking about this earlier offline, is that situations like this make you realize who's for you and who's against you. Like who's going to stand up for you and who's not. You see who's racist, who's not.
And we have made mention of this before on other podcasts, where this climate has really given authority, or I don't know, authority is not the right word, openness to really show true colors and what's appropriate and not,
right,
and what's acceptable and what's not. And well, it's I think in my nature to always look at the silver lining. So I appreciate the climate because now I see whose eyes are really looking where and what and why.
Right.
But then I think the only thing that I think I have not evolved to is having a full bad love with someone who doesn't think we have different religions or I don't know. Like, could you sit with like a Klansman, a proper Klansman, and have that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. No, that's what I said. No. I mean, like, not. I'm excluding someone who doesn't have like the same religion or education. I think it's not little things, but you know what I mean. But someone who fully does not think like me in terms of just like a like a full Klans person. Like to really sit with someone like that and have a conversation.
I have husband. I don't have a desire.
Oprah did, and she was able to.
And she said she would never do it again.
But she would have the strength to do it.
Did she do it for ratings, or did she do it because she? You know what I'm saying? That's a bad example. That's a bad example. I need to know somebody that did it without the cameras.
Yeah, I don't know.
They both did it for clout.
For clout, yeah.
But I know that I've had conversations with people not see eye on pretty much everything, and so my goal is always not to even mention it, to bow out, give up. Like I'm not even. Please don't engage me because I don't want to. I care about.
Yeah. I have this thing where
by the way. One of my uncles, he's got an ideology that doesn't match mine, which is very odd because a black man, a dark black man. But you know what I mean? Yeah. But sometimes I have to school him. Yeah. I'm like, bro, like, and he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I lost my train of thought. I don't do any. It's okay. I don't know. I need to be rich and famous. This is what I need to be.
I'm kind of relaxing, tired and relaxed.
Tired and relaxed.
Relaxed and tired.
I wonder sometimes how. So you and I, not you and I have a child who does not look like me, right? And for the longest time, whenever somebody asked me where I was from, I would always say, oh, New York. Oh, but where are you from? Like, what's my ethnic background? People oftentimes
that in itself is racist. Yeah. Did somebody tell you I'm from here? That's it. That's the answer. I can't stand when somebody, and you get it from all nationalities.
So remember, I always said American. And then for a blurb in my life, I was completely surrounded by Anglo-Americans. And I would just say, Puerto Rican. That's Puerto Rican. All the questions that I left alone. But then I recall being to my original question, but almost like I what I knew they were asking. And what they were asking is, how much respect do I need to give you? Where are you from? instead of for the death of my character. And I had this like conversation with myself when we were coming up with the topic for today. I had this conversation with myself of I originally started telling people I was American because that's just what it is. I'm American. I do feel like I'm being perfect and all of it. But I just don't because there was questions that I need to justify.
Justify is the key word.
Yeah, and now with that blurb that I just had in my life, where I was surrounded by Anglo-Americans, where they came and said to me where it was from, it was the question was how much respect do I need to give you, and I can't reconcile that with myself. But for myself, I need to go back to my original answer, which is I'm American, and that's just it. I don't really understand what you mean. Oh, what's your ethnic background? American. And I remember you and I had a conversation with someone a long time ago, and they're like, well, you haven't been here long enough to say that you're American. And I just don't understand what's this. I had a later conversation with that person, and they're like, yeah, but that's not what I was saying. I was saying DNA makeup. Yeah, but that's not what you asked. That's not what you were saying.
That doesn't matter. It's something as I've gotten older and been asked more often.
Mm-hmm.
Something that truly, truly bothers me.
Yeah.
Because number one, no matter where I tell you I'm from, it's never going to be justified. When you're black, I'm just point blank period.
Mm-hmm.
You're black,
right?
It never matters where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where do you want me to say Africa? What do you want me to say? Like if I said Africa, you'd be like, oh, okay. You want to say, oh, what part? Not you, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, am I allowed to say I'm from Africa?
Yeah, I dare you to say that
like,
to somebody.
For real, like what part? Like literally all of them.
Africa.
Like literally all of them.
But that's what it's like. I think the conversation would end if somebody asked me where you from, I say Africa. Like, continent.
Yeah. Well, where are you from?
I say we're from the United States, but where?
I remember you and I were at some place a long time ago, and somebody pointed at you like, as black as you are, no way, that's not a myth. And you laughed at that. I laughed, but because I didn't find it funny. I laughed for the sheer ridiculousness of the whole phrase. Like, you really have the nerve to say that to like your string of sentences was that outrageous to me that I laughed. I don't know. It's where someone's mind is when they say things like that.
You have no idea some of the things. I'm going to tell you some things. There's so, like, what am I going to sit here and tell you every little thing that happens to me every day? Yeah. Like, are you going to do that? You know, we all have some shit going on. Yeah. We only share so much. But it's like, be a black woman, be a woman, be a country, as great as this country is, and as free as it is. Mm-hmm. We're sitting here doing a podcast. We have friends, we have freedom that we are not afforded in other parts of the world. None of that matters for certain people one-on-one. If you're good enough.
Yeah. I don't know how many times I can ask and not words if I don't. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes I feel God forbid, like, they can be my boyfriend. No, you gotta be the nanny. You gotta decide.
Someone asked me if you were my nanny, and because you know I'm an asshole, I went, oh yeah, I pay her. Yeah, absolutely, I pay her to be my friend.
But that doesn't help them. About your nanny.
No, but they looked at me like, oh wow. And then I remember you picked up the phone, like you were doing something, and they're looking at me like, wow, you pay her to do all this? And I remember, no, she's not the nanny. We've been friends for a long time. She's actually a really dynamic person. I didn't need all that. But I have done that, but like I drop it and leave.
I can't stand people. When we went away to Montauk, I felt like that. That's exactly how I felt. People looking at me. I didn't think I followed through without really complaining. What happened? So
I had not the ownership company, but
we never talked about. we never talked about it on the show because I didn't really want to get into it.
Okay.
Long talk, long story short, I got stopped by somebody that was at the hotel, plain clothes woman, no badge, no ID, nothing. No walkie-talkie or jab with a cell phone. Started questioning what I was doing on the property. When I told her about what I was doing, I quote unquote explained myself, did some explaining. She had an attitude, and she was questioning me. She wasn't questioning anybody else. I asked her, why are you not questioning? Why you ask that person? Why you ask this person? I'm paraphrasing, I'm shortening it up. But anyway, I was embarrassed. I was hurt. I kept crying. I cried for 2 days.
Yeah.
It was very tough. And I think in hindsight, after I left, what I never told you this, what kind of hurt too, is that we left. Because I felt like we were shamed into leaving. We should have stayed there as long as possible and made her look at me the entire time.
Yeah.
But we left.
Well, another reason why we left is because they couldn't open the pool because the pool chemicals, there was too much urine in the pool.
I don't know. I understand. I'm just saying.
But it was like, no, you're 100% correct. So, stare at you with your questions. So I went up to her and asked her, I was like, and she's like, no, and she kept giving me the face with, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for you, whatever. Anyway, I called the hotel later on, and I said that there was an incident that happened, and I'm just really unsure about what the intention was. I finally get a call back, and this is like almost borderline harassment to them to get a call back. And they said that they spoke to that woman, Patricia, and they said they spoke to her, and she said because you didn't have on a bracelet that I had on, because you didn't have on a bracelet, you were the only one that had a bracelet. Because people that were staying behind me were staying in the hotel. So they reviewed the footage, and it looked like she bombarded through, but she doesn't reflect their beliefs. She came, but I bombarded? No, Patricia, it looked like she bombarded through the fence and the way he explained it to me, it looked like she bombarded through the fence, that little gate that they have, and marched through the crowd of people and went straight to you. Which she did. And he said he looked at the footage and he spoke to her and it didn't reconcile. And he apologized and he said that she doesn't reflect their beliefs and views and they're very sorry and they gave me back my money. Right. But I said the bigger apology needs to be to her, to you. And they were like, do that, but also because I don't think that she's working there anymore. I don't know whatever the case may be. But then it was one of those things I haven't had an opportunity to bring it up earlier because I feel like my mind is always like in a tangent, but
I got your money back.
No, I'm glad that they saw her for who she is. Right. Because
and I tried to I told people that it's like one of those things where they believe me. Right. But it's like, you never know for sure. It's like you put a little exaggeration, but it wasn't.
No, it was none of. I don't know how you reflected that incident to other people, but there was no extra anything. When she told the management company that what she did was she came to you because you didn't have a bracelet, but other people did not have a bracelet. She literally barged through that fence, and I wasn't there. Right. They said that.
And I had a sweater on my wrist. You
could tell that you. It looked. They said that and broke some of these people to get to you in order to say what she wanted to say. And then they said that everybody was calm. I said I had three. He's like, were your three kids the ones that were sitting literally next to her waiting? And I said yes. You could tell that that they were family. Because I wasn't there. They said they saw me walk up later. We were talking. I walked over to her. I said something to you, and then he said I walked out of the frame. And I said that's when I went to give me because I needed to verify. I was not only could I not be there anymore, I need to justify who this lady is. I was like, honestly, she looked like every other internet person that has, because she literally had on the crossbody bag with a very, very thin strap, overly done with a very, very old cell phone and a crap ton of keys. She had no identification, no nothing. And he said that the way the exchange looked, because there was no audio. He said the way the exchange looked, it looked like she looked at you, and you did. He said your demeanor looked like a question because they couldn't see your face.
Mm-hmm.
You went like, what?
My body.
And then he said you put your hands up and you kind of like went like that, and you pointed, like you motioned to the kids, and then you motioned over to where we were.
Right.
And he's like, that's not at all who we are and what we reflect. He's like, the whole day, I don't know. He's like, I'm not going to give excuses. I don't know if she was. I can't do any of that because it was unjustified. And I went, okay, thanks. And it is what it is.
But this goes back to what we were saying a little bit ago. It's like one of those things where true racists have no problem showing their colors in whatever form that might be.
Right.
It can be. Racism is not always the whole you nigger.
No.
It's treating you like you don't belong. You got your papers.
Yeah. What are your qualifications?
How you get? How long you been here?
I've had that question so many different forms. I realized it was what it was, and it's what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
But you can't. You can't change other people. How I can only be myself. I just happen to be a representation of something that they feel is not value.
Right.
I don't know how many times I've been asked if I'm Italian. You don't sound it. You don't act. I don't look like a cartoonish representation of what you value, or where you believe.
Right.
Someone like me falls. So the question, is it racist? Has been answered.
Pretty much.
Good show. I remember I said that 15, 20 years ago. I don't know.
Shit happens.
No, it doesn't, and it shouldn't. But I'm hoping that with my education, I don't even know where I don't think that. Ugh. Damn. Well, since I know better, I gotta do better. Could you imagine if they woke me up? Where would I go? What do you mean? Based on my DNA profile, where would they send me back, do you think?
Which one was the most?
In Spain. But where do you think my makeup is a little bit different than mine?
Isn't that funny how that happens?
Yeah. Do you think they would give me a choice as to where I get to go? How does this not happen? I don't need to know. Everyone.
I mean, put your foot in the shoes of the people that are walking 3,000 miles across the gate only to be separated from their parents. It's not valid. In this car, SUV, watching children play, sipping on some scissor. I'm drinking soda.
Playing on the Gold Coast of Long Island.
They're not going to be a home, quote unquote. Yeah. You want to put me in a house arrest? Okay. Alright. I'm gonna take the food.
I need you.
Anyway.
Homie?
Yes.
I value you.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
For other people.
Yeah. You're good here, homie. That's balance. I'm gonna shout out Montauk porn. Look at this lady, Patricia. Get the out of here.
Crazy.
The phone having ways.
Crazy.
You're enough.
As are you.
And you're valued. You are. Where can they catch us?
YepYesAT
On
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Yep. They can catch us, social media. Tune in. Apple Play.
Google Play.
You see a dog and just
I'm like, I'm stuttering.
Go to one of our last